Look in my eyes, and what do you see? Someone who was not happy at first that CM Punk is back in WWE. We're going to talk his epic, shocking return and an outstanding Survivor Series War Games that happened this past Saturday. And a little lanyard for you on this live stream edition of the Worldly Podcast. Let's go.
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it in, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join the show.
Well, hello again, everybody. We are the highest tier pod of your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment. Welcome to the Worldly Podcast, free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and we're on YouTube. I am Marcus. Of course, he's Jordan, 2/3 of the Hostly trio. Dylan's not here with us tonight, but he'll be back with us next week, but he'll be tuning in the comments. First off, Jordan, how was your Thanksgiving? How's everything going?
My Thanksgiving was great, and I was with Dylan for Thanksgiving, and we watched football, ate a lot. I bet everybody ate a lot.
Don't lie, who ate the most out of you and him?
Probably me.
Okay.
Hey, at least he's honest.
Yeah. Then, of course, joining in as well, such short notice, my co-host from SAT Sports, all the way down in Orlando. Freddie, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How's everything, man? How's your Thanksgiving?
It was very good. And, man, after what happened on Saturday, you missed out going because you were in town.
I was in Illinois. I know.
Oh, you should have hit me up, bro.
I was in O'Fallon, so I was by St. Louis.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So you probably had a long way to go.
It was about a 4-hour drive to Chicago.
And last but not least, of course, from Chicago, Illinois, you can find him. He's a gamer. He's a podcaster, a streamer on Tino's Time. And we had to bring him on because he was there. He witnessed the return of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the GWO, everyone's favorite ginger, it's Tino. How you doing?
Hey, I love it, man. The GWO. I recorded an episode yesterday with Above the Ring, and I was talking about the GWO. You got to keep it alive. But it was so much fun. I did not expect anything. I always like to say I don't expect anything, because then if something happens like what happened, it's one of those things where like it's crazy. And like I just posted like my reaction on YouTube a few hours ago because I finally found the video through all the videos. I had like 160 videos. I didn't realize I took that many videos. So it took me a minute to find it. So when I found it, it was just like it's one of those things that is just like I can't believe it really happened. And I don't want to overshadow the other return that happened with Randy Orton. And after 18 months, seeing him live was so cool because obviously growing up watching him and everything, it was just like. And I don't know. He look. I don't know. Like if he looked at like it on TV. I haven't watched the WarGames match yet. I literally just finished the Rhea and Zoe. He looked big, like huge in person. Like he looked. No,
he was. He looked even bigger on TV.
Yeah. He looked like he looked like he sat in the gym for the last 18 months. I was like, okay,
he looked fantastic. But you can't forget the return of R-Truth also. So we had three returns in Survivor Series.
There's so many. Like I still like my adrenaline from this weekend is still going. Like I get back to the hotel room, my cousin's there, and he goes, "Why are you so like jitter?" I'm like, "Bro, do you not understand what happened?" I'm like, "This is gonna be an event people talk about for a long time." Like the fact that CM Punk returned, Randy returned, R-Truth, like all the War Games matches, just everything, and it was just. Yeah,
you went to the last two PLEs in Chicago, and they were unforgettable. You also went to Hell in a Cell, where Cody fought with a torn pec, and you got to witness the match of the year in 2022. So you're on a little hot streak right now.
And I did. Fun fact, also, I told this on the Raw live stream last night because I didn't realize it. I've also been to the only two War Games matches that were in Chicago because I also went to Survivor Series in 2019, and I went those all 4 days.
Man,
so,
you
that's a little. I know that's a little. I've done a lot in the last like 2 or 3. I'm trying to make up for all the times I didn't go and all the times that they were in Chicago. Yeah. So
what's going on, Nick from the Universal Wrestling Podcast? Tuning in. Justin as well from the End Time Wrestling Podcast. What's going on? Dylan tuning in as well. So, hey,
Dylan.
man, tell your wife to get well soon. I know strep throat's going around down here. Hopefully, she didn't catch that or catch
I know like
anything
3
worse.
people that have it. Like, what's going on? Is it just like a strep throat season or something? Like, it's not.
Yeah, Orton did
It's not
look jacked. Orton looked like he ain't skipped a beat. He looked
No.
like he looked like himself from 2007, 8 all over again. He also said Truth
I
Back was
mean-
great. With the
I mean, the fact that he even put up the 10 possible, and if he
The
thinks
10
he can
years,
wrestle for
yeah.
10 more years, I mean, shit.
screw this.
Hey, you know what? Listen, I wanted to send you the video, but I couldn't find it. I'm gonna try to look for it. People keep making fun of the Sox hat, but the Sox hat was on TV.
Yeah, how
My
was
face was not on TV. My phone,
that
my
dude
White Sox
blocked
hat,
your view? That
and
dude
my
blocked your
glasses.
view. So your phone, your hat, and your glasses made the television, but
Yes.
your face didn't.
Yes, so people keep talking back about these White Sox hat, but hey, the White Sox hat will forever live on Peacock. So
Well,
you know,
you and probably a couple of other 100 people that wore it out of the
Listen.
16,000.
listen, I know the Sox suck, but listen, I got to support them till the end. And hey,
Well-
the Chicago Survivor Series, their shirt matches with it, so it fits. You know,
Well, I'd have been mad at that guy saying you ruined a GWO moment.
dang. Oh well, but Eli, it's okay, bro. We can still be friends.
What's up, Kayla? We are doing well. Of
Hey,
course,
hey.
check our
Hey,
show
what's
out,
up,
Outrage Control and the Queen's Takeover, and of course, Sport Force Stopper Sports. All right, so we'll go ahead and talk. We'll do a little quick recap of Survivor Series. I mean, I didn't realize that the show itself, the WarGames matches were only over 30 minutes. I thought they went nearly an hour. So just a quick recap. Women's WarGames, it was Team Bianca defeated Damage Control. Then we had Gunther defeated The Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Then we had Santos defeated Dragon Lee. Then we had Rhea Ripley defeat Zoe Stark to retain the Women's World Championship. Then we closed it out with the Men's WarGames. Cody's team defeated the Judgment Day, where with the big ending with CM Punk, which we'll talk CM Punk in its own little topic. Let's just talk about our thought of the pay-per-view itself. I went a perfect 5-0 in the predictions. I'm on a little streak here. This is only the 5th time this year I went undefeated in picks for a wrestling show. So this is the 5th time. That's like a new record for me. I went 5-0 at the Royal Rumble. I went undefeated at Elimination Chamber. I went undefeated at one of the AEW shows. I went undefeated, and I also went undefeated for Money in the Bank. I was undefeated. So now Survivor Series I'm 5-0. So hail to the yeah. Oh, and Fastlane I was undefeated.
He said Fastlane.
So six pay-per-views out of, like, if you want to include Impact and AEW and New Japan, I have 6 this year. I went undefeated. So
there was somebody that I met waiting in line, because I waited in line for an hour and 15 minutes before they opened the gates because the line was ridiculous on Saturday. And he literally went to Fastlane. He went to Survivor Series, and he goes, "I'm literally going every pay-per-view until WrestleMania." I'm like, shit. I'm like, what's up?
Back-to-back years for Team Bianca winning WarGames. That's right.
That's true.
I had to cut my hair. They made me cut it. So I don't have the Dirty Dom look anymore. I'm kind of going to an LA Knight look now.
You got the CM Punk cut almost.
See, Punk.
Your honorary Oos for World Elite in a match for one night in the house. There you go. Yep. Shout out to Dango and them.
The Bump Boys. What's
but
up?
the whole pay-per-view was absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't know if it was the best show of the year, because you still got to compare this with Money in the Bank and hell, even WrestleMania, but this was a fantastic show. I don't know if I'm going to rate it 5 stars. I could rate it 4.5 out of 5 because the Chicago crowd boosted it up a bit. The matches were fantastic.
They didn't stop all night. Like, it was nonstop. And let me ask you guys this question, because I heard it a little bit, but did you guys hear the nonstop table chants all night long?
Yeah,
it was tapered through, like, you can hear it every now and then. Like, even the Punk chants where you can hear it, but they weren't like, it didn't come off really loud on TV. as it was probably for you there.
I heard no piped in music. I did because like the piped in noise. I was looking for that. I'm like very curious. I'm like trying to look even on SmackDown because I went to SmackDown also. I was like looking for everything and I didn't hear nothing. Like you said, the crowd was just insane. Like it was crazy.
Jordan, what did you think of the whole show alone out of 5 stars? And what was your match of the night? And if there was a worst match of the night in your opinion?
No, I think every match was great, and I'm gonna go with the men's Survivor Series match with
The
that
WarGames?
RKO. Yeah, War Games. Off the that RKO off the top of the cage. That was awesome.
Yeah, they like measured it right to him.
And
I was
I'll give it a 4.5.
okay. What about you, Freddie? What you got?
It was good. I thought maybe the worst match of the night was probably Rhea and Zoe. I think the crowd kind of died down a little bit for that match. I don't know how it was for you, Tino, there, but on TV, like it was dead quiet. Like it wasn't really you heard some mommy chants, but it wasn't really that loud. But I'm gonna pick between 2 matches: the Gunther and Miz match, and then the men's War Games match. Probably my 2 top matches of the night. And I think I'll go with Jordan. I'll give it a 4.5. Obviously, Punk coming back, you can easily give it 5 stars. But I'll give it 4.5 for sure.
Go ahead, Tino.
So Freddie, yeah, no, exactly what you said. Like it seemed like I was trying to wait until that match because I was trying to use one match to go to the bathroom because I didn't know how long the line was gonna be, and I had to go during the Miz and Gunther, and like I could even hear the Miz and Gunther like noise when I was in the bathroom, like it was so loud. But like you're right, when like Rhea and Zoe were out there, I think it was just so like there was so much that was going on, and people were like so hyped up all night that I think that was like the one match where like everybody was doing like they were going and getting t-shirts, they were doing whatever,
right?
Because it seemed like everybody kind of like left. Like I tried not to leave my seat, but it was just that one where like even like the people were like sitting next to me, they were so ready for their men's War Game match by that time. They just wanted the thing to end, and that was like the one thing like we'll talk about when we get to the men's War Games. It just seemed like that was like the one thing about it. It was like everybody just wanted it to happen, and it's just like, can we just enjoy this match real quick? So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm going to be biased because obviously I went to the event, but I mean, all around, I thought it was a great show. I mean, being there is different. Like, I even told somebody, I'm like, being there, like, you don't want to leave. Like, you want to stay in that arena. It like gives you some type of like different adrenaline that like it's like a different type of a high that you don't want to leave. Like, just being around all those fans and people chanting and just, you know, it was insane. And like the show, like rewatching it so far, I definitely agree. I think it was like a 4 out of 5 because I'm definitely trying to watch it not being there because I'm also, you know what I mean? Because there's things that like happen. Like it was a good show and so far what I've watched, but if you take away the CM Punk, I see somebody in the chat. If CM Punk did not show up, people were literally screaming CM Punk. And we're literally saying they were literally gonna walk out pissed if he didn't show up. So it's like it's one of those things like it happened, but if it didn't happen, we might be talking as a completely different show right now because people would be so mad that he didn't show up. But we should also not forget about Randy, the moments in the women's War Games, the moments in the men's, like that RKO watching it live. I was kind of fearful for JD's life. I'm like, are they really about to do this? And like, so yeah, but. So far watching it, I feel like it is like a 4 out of 5. But I want to hear that pop by CM Punk and actually listen to it with not having to like watch it, you know, with having the volume all the way up. So, but I'm sure it was insane. I mean, it broke the record last night, didn't it, or Sunday or
the most streams ever for WWE.
A return and shit.
Yeah, return, yeah.
For a moment. I will say he's not lying when it comes to like bathroom breaks at PLEs because Raw is different. There were many times I went to the bathroom and wanted to go to concession and there was nobody in sight. It was easy to go, but a pay-per-view, especially in a stadium,
like SmackDown, I tried to do it and it was So keep going. Sorry.
So when I went to the Royal Rumble, as soon as I got there, every merchandise line was freaking stretch long. The only time I went for a bathroom break, I went to the bathroom break for Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair. The line was so long, I damn near missed the whole match, but I didn't give a shit. Like I was just ready to go. But I was like, I guess I ain't getting no merchandise because the lines were too long. Now, when I went to Supercard of Honor, I tried to sit the whole show without going. But after the FTR Briscoe match, I said, I gotta go piss. But I went piss at the wrong time. Minoru Suzuki was coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to be a part of this moment. I almost missed it. I'm like straining myself to let it all out. And then when I'm done, I just forgot to shake it and just teardrop piss running down my pants leg while I'm running to hear the part. Cause I mean, all right. I'm just standing on the barricade hollering it, and then I slowly walked to my seat, holding a side on my leg so nobody saw my piss teardrops down my leg from running too fast.
I'm dead.
But if I'd have been at Survivor Series, I'd have probably watched the whole thing with a full bladder because I wouldn't have known when to go. Because I want to watch both WarGames matches. I want to watch Gunther. I want to watch Santos, and I want to watch Mommy. So I wouldn't know when to fucking go.
I knew Gunther's entrance was going to be a little longer. So like when he came out and he did his little like his pose thing and the lights went back on, he came like halfway down the ramp. I literally started walking and I was able to come back before the match ended. So I was still able to watch like 6-7 minutes of it, but it was one of those things. I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna, and that was the thing. I didn't want to leave because I didn't know who and when was going to show up where. And like seeing R-Truth come back was like, it's one of those things. I looked up and I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, we haven't seen R-Truth in a minute. So, yeah. Well, yeah.
She said, forget if Punk didn't show up. It seemed like Chicago was going to ride if there ended up being no tables.
Oh, I mean, did you guys see the clip that what happened after SmackDown? Speaking of tables, did you guys see that? What happened? Did anybody post it?
What's up on the Sidelines podcast tuning in? No, I didn't watch SmackDown Friday night. I wish I did.
So after the show, they had a dark match. They always have those dark matches after the shows. They had a tag team match with Seth Rollins and Cody taking on JD and Dominic. After the match, people wanted the table so bad. Cody goes and grabs the table. Him and Seth sign it, and they go and give it to the war veteran that was represented.
Oh, I saw that video. I just saw the video of them signing it and giving it to a vet.
Yeah. So, but that was really cool. I was just like, it was both nights. I didn't know what was with the tables, but like, it was like an obsession of them.
I would have laughed if Asuka and them, when they pulled the table out, they cheered, and she'd have just threw it back and went in the ring, and then the bell would have rang. Then
I would have done it.
But all right, well, let's talk about what happened after the men's WarGames match. The unthinkable happened. The quote is real. Never say never. So, and here's one thing I've learned. I've had it happen before. Anytime you see the credits at the bottom right, don't expect it to go screen black just yet. You never know what the hell's going to happen.
No.
And I'm going to compare it, for example. Remember when Bray returned at Extreme Rules? They did the same shit. Now,
well, the thing about this one that made it weird, though, they played the credits twice. They first did it when they went to when they were in the ring when the match was over. Then they all celebrated. Then the camera panned. I was about to turn it off. I'm not gonna lie, but when I saw the camera panning out to the full of the stadium, I was like, nah. Then they played the credits again, and I was like, all right, maybe they're gonna fucking just shut it off.
Well, one of the two times had to have been a mistake. I think the second one was a mistake because I get the first one, they're gonna think it's over, and then it's like,
well,
spoiler alert.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Yeah, well, we got the return of CM Punk. I didn't realize they used the remastered version of Cult of Personality, I guess because Tony Khan and them own the rights to the actual version, which it sounds weird. It sounds like they're performing live at WrestleMania, but I rather the original version. But yeah, he's back. I mean, he looked like he got a haircut too. He looked like he's in good shape. The crowd's just going crazy. Chicago's Jesus has arrived, and everyone's happy again. Now, first off, I mean, there's a lot we're going to talk about this, but Jordan, be honest. Were you happy to see him, or were you upset, or you just didn't care? Let's just see how it goes.
I just want to see how it goes, and I had a feeling that it was coming out because it was in Chicago, but yeah, like Freddie said, it played the credits twice, and then his music hit.
You watched it with Dylan and Ryan and them. How did y'all all react? Like when y'all were watching it together, did you remember how the reaction went for all three of y'all?
I was like, holy shit, he's there. And then Dylan's like, oh, he was like, oh boy, he's there or something like that.
And then Ryan was like nipple mania running wild. Oh my god, the best in the world is here. Well, okay. Freddie, I know this regrets you not being there. You could have been part of a historic moment, but what were you going through with all the shit that happened months prior compared to this?
I was watching the pay-per-view throughout the night. I was in different places in St. Louis, and I finally made it back to my cousin's house, and the main event started. So we're watching a movie while I have my phone on low. So, like I said, the credits came, and I saw the camera started panning out, and somebody who was there posted on X, Twitter, before the match finished, a camera crew came on the nosebleeds and started clearing everybody out. And he was like, something's about to happen, which that ended up being that camera pan, cameraing the entire stadium. But they didn't know what it was for. Somebody posted it on Twitter. And when it came out, the only thing I said was, oh, shit. And everybody looked at me in the living room. And I was like, oh, CM Punk just came out. And I was like, oh, wow, okay.
And you thought about me so fast.
The first thing I thought about was Marcus. I said, Marcus is watching this. I know he probably either turned this shit off or he's flipping the fuck out. Because you're the first person I tagged. I said, oh, boy, he's here.
Well,
but it was cool, though. It was dope. It was, like you said, he looked in great condition, new haircut. He looked, obviously, the crowd.
He looked obviously happy.
Yeah.
Now, Tino, you were there. You got it on your phone. You haven't really caught up all the reactions. I'm pretty sure you saw many different reaction videos on social media.
Oh, I saw, everywhere. I mean, it was crazy.
What was the atmosphere like? Oh, you should have saved that one for my part. Yeah, I wasn't trying to hold Dylan's comment off. I was going to leave it up when I give my opinion. But back to you. You were there. You know that electricity was that the loudest pop you've ever saw in person? Or
the end, before I forget, the end credits thing, I was rewatching, like, because I started rewatching it today. They did it during the women's match too. For some reason, at the end of the women's match, the credits came on for like 5 seconds. I was like, that's weird. So yeah, for some reason the credits came on. I don't know, but I mean, for a second there, because I honestly didn't know when the show ended. I was like, okay, well, like, when does the show, like, because I was like, the music keeps going, this and that, and like, you really don't know when the show comes off. And like, they have like the video board, but because the way they had it set up, the only thing you could see is the TVs. But they had a giant thing like that with it would look like a ring with like around like Jupiter. It was around the TVs, so you could see all the things like this. So you looked up, and it was like I was like, okay. So I looked over to the guy next to me because the guy I was next to, he had the tickets for Friday night. So we were just talking and hanging out and whatever. And we were talking to each other and everything. And he goes, do you think he's going to show up? I go, man, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I literally looked down for 2 seconds and all I hear is, nah. And then I'm trying to grab my phone. I'm like fumbling it. I'm like, oh my God, come on. And then, yeah. So it was one of those things that like I really like at first I'm like, are they gonna play his music and like mess with us? But like when he came out, it was like, oh my God. And like, yeah. Like you could hear my voice in the video. Like I don't think I've ever screamed that loud in my life. Like it was crazy, and it was just all night people were screaming it. And even on Friday they were, that I think everybody had just like, it's really like I felt I was dreaming, and like I said, I'm still have the adrenaline like when I talk about it, like it. I don't know. So yeah, it was crazy. Even like at the end of the show, like people were still standing there waiting for like something else to happen. And even when I was walking out, it was so loud. Like I went live on Instagram, you literally couldn't hear anything but the CM Punk chants, LA Knight chants. They
were chanting LA Knight.
People were chanting just everything. They didn't care what.
I think y'all got robbed not having him at Survivor Series, but I'm pretty sure he popped up on SmackDown.
Yeah, he was at SmackDown. The pop on SmackDown was pretty good. So, and that was the thing. It was cool to be able to still see some of the people live that weren't on the show. I will say the one thing I have is Carlitos hasn't wrestled at a premium live event in 13 years. I was hoping to see him.
Y'all got robbed.
Still hasn't. But Dragon Lee and Santos, I really enjoyed that match. People could say what they want, but I thought they did good,
So Dylan said he was eating his words. He didn't want him there at first, but he's willing to give him a chance. Before I give my statement, I was gonna say maybe the loudest pop return I've ever witnessed was Cody Rhodes' return to WWE after AEW. Like we all knew he was coming.
Well, you were at WrestleMania, weren't you?
I was at WrestleMania, but I was mad. Now I will say I was mad because I didn't want him fighting Seth. I wanted the Undertaker to come out and fight Seth or somebody else. Like I didn't want I wanted Cody to show up on Raw, but. I mean, looking back at it now, I was like, that was a big moment. He jumped, the first guy to jump from AEW to WWE like that, and that was a big moment. And that was the first time hearing Kingdom live in person. So, of how many times I heard Cult of Personality in person,
that was my first time also hearing it live. So that was, I told people all week, I'm like, if it happens, I'm gonna be so happy because I've never seen him live. And as everybody knows, I've been watching him since 2007, and I'm a.
So I've heard it. I've heard it 3 times in WWE. I heard it at Hell in a Cell in 2011, and I've heard it twice on Raw the same year, and again in 2013. And then I heard it again when we went to Dynamite last April when he kicked off Dynamite New Orleans against Penta, which that was a hell of a match. So this comment Dylan posted, Marcus' favorite part of the night. So I got a lot I'm going to say about everything, but it could lead to some better shit. Yeah, for the last few months, I've been shit talking Punk. Maybe for I'm gonna say the last year, I've been shit talking this guy.
Yeah, I think you did it on our show when we did the WrestleMania retro.
After the media from shit, like this dude, I've been saying for months, this dude's a fucking cancer. He needs to get out of wrestling. When he got fired from AEW, I was like, well, they did something right. And then I'm like, I can't see him going to WWE. I was like, I didn't want him going to WWE because I didn't want him to bring that same attitude he had in AEW over there and cause a bunch of chaos. I said he could go to New Japan for all I care, or if he wants to try Impact. I thought he was going to go to TNA, but because it was also in Chicago, but he didn't show up. Instead, they got a bigger announcement that they're bringing the name back and it's no longer Impact. So I did a watch along for Four Slapper Sports. It was myself and Graydon. We did it together, and I had it ready. Like I was so confident he wasn't going to show up. I said he's never going to show up. And I've been saying it for months. Well, this is the second time that I lost with the marks. Like when Edge went to fucking AEW, I've been saying he's not going to go to AEW. Well, he showed up at Wrestle Dream, and I'm like, the fucking marks were right. And I said, I can't ever let it happen again. They all saying, oh, Punk's going to go back to WWE. I said, I cannot let it happen. I said, if he fucking shows up on my television, I'm walking out the fucking live stream. And what happened when as soon as I saw his name on the screen, I threw my fucking remote, shattered my fucking coffee pot, and I was like,
really?
Yeah. I said, I'm out. I closed this cap. I muted my fucking mic, and it went 10 minutes with just Graydon all by himself. And everyone, like, I was really pissed, but I planned my reaction. I said, if he shows up, I'm fucking walking out the set. If he don't show up, I'm going to talk shit and with a fake evil devil laugh. And it was...
Maybe Marcus is the devil.
It blew up on social media. Like, everyone loved the reaction, but some people didn't like it. It was a fucking work. Like, yeah, I was pissed that he showed up, but I had it planned. I told you what I was going to do, something to make it memorable. Now, been doing a lot of thinking because I've had people tell me, why don't you give him a chance? You know, he been through a lot in AEW. AEW's a fucking shithole, blah, blah, blah. So I tuned into Raw Monday night. Plus, Dylan's best friend, freaking Keith, been blowing my phone. You ready to see your favorite wrestler pop up on TV? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, don't make it worse than it already is. I'm waiting to watch him. He comes out. He gets a big reaction. By the way, I like his new shirt.
I already ordered it.
He stated that after 10 years, he's home. He did some thoughts from thinking from the wise man, said to, go away, do whatever, and come back. And he got a big pop for that. And then kind of quoted Kevin Nash saying, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Even gives an update on AJ Lee that everyone praised him for. So the way people saying all that was all he was told to do that. He don't mean that. I mean,
I don't believe that.
That's not true. I mean, just I rewatched his interview, his promo twice. It sounded like it came from the heart. But here's my thing with CM Punk. I didn't know nothing about him until 2006 when he went to ECW. I was a fan of him. I was a fan of him till he cashed in on Jeff Hardy for Money in the Bank and took the world title from him after he just won it, and I witnessed it. I was at that pay-per-view. So I hated him for that. That's the first time I hated him, and I didn't like him again. I didn't like him again until Money in the Bank 2011 when he went to Chicago with that brand new shirt, took the WWE title, walked out, and 2 weeks later came back with Cult of Personality after he won the WWE title in that tournament. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking genius. And I loved him again until he walked out 10 years ago because I was pissed because I had nobody to win that Royal Rumble because Daniel Bryan wasn't in it. So I said, CM Punk's my pick to win the Rumble. I want to see him at WrestleMania in the main event. He got eliminated as one of the final four, and he just took his ball and left wrestling for 7 years. And I was disappointed in that because I said for 2 years, we got to get him back. And after 2016, I said, he's never coming back. It's over. He goes to the UFC for a short time. When he came back when he went to AEW in 2021, we were hyped for it. We did a Breaking Alert live stream after he cut that promo at the United Center with Darby Allin. I liked him again until the media scrum shit, and then I couldn't stand him anymore. But now I'm willing to give him a chance. It's going to take time because, it's like you've been gone 10 years in WWE. I praised your name for 2 years and you never came back. Well, give it time. We'll see how it goes. Possibly I could be a fan of him again. It depends with how he acts, which I heard his first night on Raw went very well. He was very polite to others. He even stayed after the show and took pictures and signed autographs for fans and kids. You don't believe me? Go check my buddy Tim out from the Battleground podcast. Him and his son sat front row at Raw, and they met CM Punk and took a selfie with him. Which
that's pretty cool. That
was great. It was nice of him to do that for those guys. He would have never done that in AEW, or he wouldn't have did that back in the day in 2009 or 10 and shit. So he's trying to show he wants to be there and don't want to cause trouble. So I'm willing to give it time, and then I'll start maybe liking him again. I want to be positive about him, but we'll see. Like, yes, I was upset he came, but I'm willing to give it a chance.
I think as much as we blame Punk for how AEW goes, I think it was also you blame, Tony Khan. You blame the structure there a little bit. WWE has none of that. There's no talent that are in executive president positions to like make decisions on shit. And I think that was probably maybe one of his biggest. I'm not the biggest Punk fan at all. Trust me. I can care less.
I'm not a big diehard. I've had a love-hate relationship with him like I've had with like Randy Orton and Seth Rollins.
But just looking back at the whole thing of what happened at AEW and then coming back, he knows he can't pull that shit in WWE. There's no way.
Triple H ain't gonna play that shit.
Hell no. Triple H ain't fearing for his life. Let's just say that.
And that's why he was. Somebody said, why wasn't he on the media scrum? Well, it's like, let's like not do that again.
No. Now, do you think that reaction to Seth Rollins was real, or was that a work? Flipping him off when they went off the air and telling him, fuck you, I'm going to fucking kill him when I see him. And then Drew walking out, Rhea mocking him.
The Drew thing happened so fast. Drew literally walked out after the match. Like, after the 1, 2, 3, he literally was there for like 2 minutes and then walked out. Like, he was out before. Like, I think he was like out of the curtain before CM Punk even came out.
Right. Yeah, he was gone already. That whole shit's a work with Seth. It already came out that they were told that Punk was coming. Like, the deal's already been done for 2 weeks.
They even said that Roman Reigns was at the show behind backstage, and his reaction was furious. That's
bullshit,
bro.
That's all bullshit.
You're telling me Roman Reigns was at Survivor Series and his ass couldn't have come out and cut a quick promo?
That's what, according to Sean Ross Sapp, he tweeted that Roman was backstage at Survivor Series, and his reaction when Punk walked in the building, he was furious.
I don't believe anything Sean Ross Sapp says.
I don't believe any of them motherfuckers, but you can't.
They all lied. First of all, they all said Punk was never coming to WWE. WWE said, no, we're good. We don't need you. Come on.
Come on,
Jordan, what you
hit
think
him.
on Seth's reaction when they went off the air from the fans' cameras, telling him like Michael Cole and Corey Graves holding him back like he was going to charge after him and want to beat him up.
Yeah, I think it's a work too. I think it is.
I mean, we'll see how he acts. I'll just give him till the end of the year if nothing crazy happens. By 2024 comes, if he doesn't act the way he acted in AEW, I'll give him a chance. I mean, I'm not gonna hop a bandwagon because I said I've had love-hate relationship with him. Like he ain't no LA Knight to me or no Roman Reigns to me or
I'm gonna take the over. He gives them zero
Cena.
problems. He's gonna give them zero problems.
Okay.
Why?
Now,
He's gonna be zero.
Who's the MVP of all this? Do you give Jack Perry for having him go to WWE now, or Tony Khan, or the Young Bucks?
I mean, shit. Maybe all of the above.
I mean, if you believe what came out today, that it was Daniel Bryan's decision for him to go. If you believe that story,
Bryan Danielson he reminds me of the fucking Right to Censor right now. He's going to do these fines to people in AEW.
I'm done.
Now,
I can't. What type of world are we living in?
I got a question for this, you guys, all three of y'all. With Punk going to WWE, back in WWE, do you think AEW is like done now, or you think they ain't gonna be able to bounce back, sign somebody bigger? Like they already got Will Ospreay. You think Will Ospreay is gonna carry that company and make it bigger, or even guys like Adam Copeland? Or someone said Tony Khan better sign John Cena right now, or AEW is done.
If I see John Cena show up in AEW, I'm literally going to be like it's going to be some type of alternate universe.
You got to think about it, right? When they had Punk, it was tough for them to get viewers and even fill out the arenas for Collision and shit like that. Then he got fired and they completely tanked. I mean,
Punk Jordan, you think AEW's done, or you think they still got a chance to like get better?
No, I don't think they're done because obviously TK got too much money. But as in being competition to WWE, they weren't competition to WWE when they had Punk. Now Punk jump ship to WWE, and people are trying to compare Ospreay to Ospreay signing with AEW is just as big as Punk and WWE. That's bullshit. Nobody, a lot of people in the US don't know who the fuck Ospreay is. Everybody in the world know who CM Punk is, and him going back to WWE. That's just gonna, I mean, AEW is not gonna die, like I said, because of the money, the TV deal. I did read today that TBS Warners are the number one bidders for Raw to go on TNT. So if that happens, then yeah, they're fucked. They'll be
Jordan,
fucked.
you think AEW's done, or you think they still got a chance to like get better?
I mean, I don't think that they're completely done. I mean, I said it on my show. I mean,
God damn, he got cut off twice.
Who, me?
Jordan. I asked Jordan this question twice.
I thought you said Tino.
I thought you did too. My bad, Jordan. All you, bro. All you, Jordan. Tag, you're it.
First Freddie interrupted, and then now Tino interrupted. His name's right there. I said, Jordan, do you think AEW's done, or do they have a chance to get better?
Jordan,
it's all good. Yeah. I don't think they done at all. I think they're gonna keep going with all what they got.
It's just the fans want to make it. They want to relive the glory days of the Monday Night Wars and shit. Like we don't fucking want that. We're in a society now where we just want to enjoy it all. Like you don't see them comparing it with Impact because I mean they've known how that happened in 2010. Like WWE was winning that every week, even though we never compared it. It's just because that's where they were going back in the day. Like when they left WWE, they were going to TNA, and we never bitched. Or when they leave TNA, they go back to WWE. We never bitched. But it's like with AEW, if they leave here and go there, it's a whole fucking thing on the internet. Same thing if they go back to WWE. So you can't even enjoy shit. Like I enjoy. I mean, yeah, AEW hasn't been good lately, but I mean, I'll watch what I can of it. I'll watch Dynamite every so often. Don't watch Rampage. I watch Collision if it'd be on a different night. I can't do Saturday Night Wrestling when I'm watching football mostly. especially when football's over, I'm gonna be watching basketball too. So I mean, they feel like only the spring and the summer are gonna be the only times I'm watching Collision, unless if NXT got a premiere live event or WWE, then I'm not watching Collision. I couldn't even tell you the last time I watched an episode of Collision. Probably July. What about y'all guys?
That lasted a long time. Watching a full episode of Collision, probably like August, September. Like I always like skip through it, but there's always things that like they're just like you said, like Saturdays are just so hard, and then like like with like it's too much.
I watched the very first Collision and never went back.
Well, I did too. I wanted to see what Punk would bring to the show. Which Punk? Here's the thing. If I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's say down the road, if Punk decided to ever leave WWE again, he's going to return at All Out because it's in Chicago. He's going to always do his returns in Chicago. He already did 3 now. He did 2 for AEW and now 1 for WWE. So, Jordan, when was the last time when was the last time you watched Collision? Like even a bit of it or a full episode?
I watched the first one, and then after that, I don't remember the last time I watched one.
I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes on Saturday, but the last time I watched it was on vacation. They just randomly put it on. And after that, I never watched it again. And they picked a bad time to come back. Like the AEW hasn't been so good lately. I don't even want to go to a show now. I'd rather go to a WWE show. And AEW's finally coming back down here, but they picked the 2 worst nights to come. They just announced the other day Collision is going to Bossier City. First time ever AEW is going to Bossier City. It's going to be the same night as the Royal Rumble, so I'm not going to that show.
Oh.
And Dynamite returns to New Orleans on January 31st. I can't go at the end any last day of the month because that's a closeout day for me. I work late, so I can be able to take a day off to go to that show. So they picked 2 bad days to come, which I probably wouldn't have went. I didn't even go to Dynamite in Houston in October where I could have went, but I just didn't go because the show sucked. And when I went back and rewatched the show, I'm like, oh, this was a shit show. So now if it had been Raw or SmackDown or PLE, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going. If AEW does a pay-per-view down here, that'll probably be the next time I go to a show if it's a pay-per-view. So, Jordan, were you wanting to go to Dynamite New Orleans, or you gave it a pass like Dylan and I did?
Pass. You
gave it a pass. Dylan also said AEW isn't done. The star power there is unbelievable. They have way too many people. Like you got so many shows to get them on the card. I mean, you got to. He's just randomly signing people to try and be better. And going to our next topic, I swear to. At first, I was worried about this motherfucker showing up, but he made a commitment on Twitter that said if CM Punk showed up at Survivor Series, he was going to retire from wrestling. He should have retired a long fucking time.
Retirement.
Oh, Skip Sheffield. I mean, Ryback.
Skip Sheffield.
Who's hosting the retirement party? I'm waiting to be a part of this.
Freddie.
I can say whatever the fuck I want because this motherfucker blocked me like a year ago because I shit talked him.
What'd you do?
On one of his voting posts, he said, "What should I do? Blah blah. This that. Or retire." And I checked retire, and then I quoted it, and I'm like, "Please retire," like the Big Show should have did a long time ago, and he blocked me.
Well,
he backed out of that whole promise too. He said Punk had to return to AEW.
No.
He was going to retire.
He said Saturday. He never said he never said that. Listen, man.
Don't say any watch Collision since college football came back. What's going on, Tim King?
Tim in the house. What's up, Tim?
Biggest CM Punk fan probably I ever saw was Tim King. He even got his Nexus logo tatted on his arm, the CM Punk Nexus logo, him holding the lightning bolt.
Like, you gotta love it.
But yeah, you think this is for real? You think Ryback's really going to retire, or this is just him trying to get attention on the internet again?
Probably just attention.
Jordan, what you think?
I think it's attention too.
But should he really retire because he sucks?
I mean, when was the last time he even wrestled?
If you're talking indie shows, I couldn't tell you that. Probably the last. I think the last time I saw him wrestle in WWE was 2016. I remember he was on the pre-card. He was on the kickoff show for WrestleMania against Kalisto.
Yeah, I think that was like his last match.
With and like probably with only in front of like probably 15,000 people that were filling up a so-called 100,000 seated stadium. So no one was really there to see his last WWE match. But let's talk Ryback here. Remember he first came with Nexus. He was Skip Sheffield before he came back and rechanged himself to Ryback. What did y'all think? What did y'all really think of him? Because I remember WWE tried their fucking hardest to push him in 2012 and 13, and every time they put him in the WWE title picture, he just blew it. They gave him a WrestleMania match with Mark Henry. He was gonna win, but they turned the tables because he sucks. They finally gave him a moment. They let him win the Intercontinental Championship in the Elimination Chamber in 2015, and that reign, I think, was only 42 days. He ain't worth a shit. Like, and he was like a freaking modern Goldberg at the time. He was having these squash matches or handicap matches. Like, he kind of reminded you of Goldberg in a singlet, but feed me more. Or he just annoyed me. Like, I did give him a chance, and he dropped the ball. So I was like, this motherfucker ain't gonna be shit. Jordan, of what you remember with Ryback in the past, did you think he was going to be a star, or you knew he kind of just threw it away?
I think he just threw it away. I saw him at a couple of wrestling shows we went to. And
me too.
Yeah,
me too. And he can't work. He's and that's what he would do. He's clueless. He bang on his head with no brain there. Freddie, what do you have any fond memories of old Skip Sheffield? I mean, Ryback.
I have zero. I thought he sucked. He fucking sucked. I mean, the only thing he's going to be remembered for is that the Shield debuted and they helped Punk beat him.
You got triple powerbomb on the table. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I mean, that's really all. And then he did get that. You know what? He did get that push when they had the whole authority angle when they were going to do the Survivor Series match, and he was like the last person on the team. And he came out. They try to push him down a little bit, but it never could, because the fans always chanted Goldberg. Like, they were trying to build up a new Goldberg. That's all it was, and it never panned out. And he was too bad in the ring. He hurt a lot of people. So, I mean, he's gonna be remembered for nothing.
Tino.
I mean, I will say the only time I remember him like thinking that he'd be pushed is when he was the final two in the Royal Rumble with John Cena. And then he had that little like ambulance match. He had that little like thing that
was in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was in Chicago. That another pay-per-view that I wish I would have went to, just because, that would have been cool. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like at that moment I thought maybe. But yeah, then he just completely like fell off. And like you said, like the WrestleMania match with Mark Henry was honestly like one of the last ones I remember actually being built up like semi-good. And then that random pre-show match, he really didn't do anything. And like he just never, I don't think he ever got over, as you guys all just said, that they wanted him to. He was just too much like Goldberg. And I remember I went to school with somebody that did that, and like they would literally sit there and like hit themselves in the head. It's like he was just losing brain cells. He's like, and so
people also forgot he was in the very first Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 30, and he was like probably the second or third guy that got eliminated.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
he couldn't get the momentum that I think they wanted him to get. And John Cena tried to put him over, and other guys tried, but it just never
CM
worked.
Punk tried to put him over, and it was a fail.
Yeah, didn't they have a Hell in the Cell match or something?
Yeah, and then that's when fucking Brad Maddox like cheated to help Punk retain, and then Brad Maddox tried to be a GM at one point, then he was a wrestler.
Old director Brad Maddox.
And then he dated Paige, and then it all went downhill, and then we all know what happened, and then yeah.
I remember Brad Maddox was the first to get eliminated in that Battle Royal. I don't think he lasted 10 seconds.
Do you remember at a house show when Punk walked out and left? 2 weeks after, he came out on a house show dressed like CM Punk with music and everything.
Brad Maddox did that shit?
Yeah, it's on. If you look it up, he came out on a house show. I want to say about 2 to 3 weeks after Punk walked out. He came out on a house show and the music hit and people went crazy. And he came out with the slick back hair, the tights and everything, the shirt. He came out like CM Punk.
What's sad, like Punk couldn't help him get over. Mark Henry couldn't help him get over, and John Cena of all people couldn't help him get over. But like after they finally made him a mid-card guy, and then he was, I'm not gonna say decent, but I mean he was working his craft. I mean they actually gave him a championship, but that was the only title he won in WWE was the Intercontinental Championship that lasted 42 days. Ryback's new tweet says he'll retire if Punk. See, it's all for attention. So it's November, so May. Give it till May, he'll retire.
Oh, my birthday present. That looks like.
I mean, Punk's gonna be at WrestleMania, so he's gonna make it past at least May.
See, that was another thing. Speaking of Punk, they were talking as soon as he came out. Like, I guess friggin' Marks made these like custom pics, custom graphics months ago. Like, it's finally gonna happen. They had like an image of Seth and CM Punk for WrestleMania 40 or Roman and CM Punk for WrestleMania 40. And so that was another reason I got mad too. I was like, well, there goes Gunther winning the Royal Rumble or Cody finishing the fucking story. Because I figured
Cody's finishing the story.
I figured they were going to put Punk straight in the title picture, but they were like, no, he's going to earn his spot. And now people think
he's going to main event night 1 versus Seth. I think that's a foregone conclusion.
And then Cody versus Roman.
Right, exactly.
Everyone swears that Seth's going to drop the title before Mania because of Punk, and we're going to get Seth and Punk in a non-title match at WrestleMania. I don't know.
In the main event? No.
Not in the main event. You see Damian Priest going into WrestleMania as champion?
No.
I think he tries to cash in before Mania. I mean, they do have the show in Throg, is it overseas, the Elimination Chamber? Maybe he tries there.
Oh, the one that's on at 5 a.m. Ugh.
Yeah, maybe he tries there. I mean,
because who would go into WrestleMania 40 as champion to fight Gunther if it's not Seth Rollins? And if Cody goes to SmackDown, it definitely ain't fucking Jey Uso.
It's going to be Punk.
What about Drew McIntyre?
It's going to be Punk.
You think Punk's going to fight Seth for the title at WrestleMania?
Yes, 100%.
Not Gunther?
I think that's 100%. He's there in Philly. He's main eventing night 1.
What if they do Brock and Gunther for the IC title?
They could do that. I can see that. I could definitely see that happening.
You want Brock as champion again?
Brock's coming back at the Rumble for sure.
Well, come back as Cowboy Brock to make me happy. Long ponytail. If you come back with that buzz cut, I'm gonna hate your ass. George as Cowboy Brock.
We're gonna bring back the wise man. He's gonna go back to training Brock and Punk while Roman takes some time off.
What about you, Jordan? Who you see going to WrestleMania 40 as champion? Seth or somebody else?
Probably Seth.
I've been wanting Seth versus Gunther. If we don't get that, we'll probably get Seth versus CM Punk. But all right, well, see, we all got fooled in this one. You remember for like the last couple months, Nakamura's been doing his promos in Japanese, and everyone says, "Oh, he's calling out CM Punk." Well, after last night on Raw, I think he was calling out Cody Rhodes, but he gave out a tease. There's rumors about Okada potentially coming to WWE. He's leaving New Japan, but Nakamura told Cody, I'm bringing chaos, which that relates to Okada, and he missed Cody in the face. Okada does the shit too. So did you thought he was talking about calling out CM Punk, or all along he was calling out Cody Rhodes?
I mean, I think everybody thought it was Punk. I thought it was either Punk or Brock.
Brock would have squashed him.
I thought because they did fight in New Japan, so they kind of have a storyline you could build off of on that. I thought maybe it was one of the two, but obviously, I mean, Cody's just they need to get Cody doing something before Mania. So
not Brock. Brock would have squashed him and turned him into a sushi roll and call it suplex roll.
I would not be surprised if Okada is on his way to WWE. Honestly.
That would be fucking great. That'd be like another middle finger to Tony Khan if you try to get him.
I mean, think about it. Okada hasn't won a match in AEW yet that he's had. He's fucking lost every single match.
No, would Nakamura and Okada be a team together? Because at first when Dylan was trying to tell me this, I thought Nakamura wanted to fight Okada because that would be a fucking hell of a match.
WrestleMania match, Marcus. WrestleMania match.
Jordan might know. Jordan, what did Dylan tell you about the whole Okada situation? Because he had me confused at first. Did you remember if he told you anything? Like the whole hints with chaos and the red mist and whatnot?
No, I don't think he mentioned to me nothing about it.
Well,
That'd be an awesome night 2 match. Okada versus Shinsuke. Come on.
now,
Okada will come back in the Rumble.
now,
both predictions.
except for Cody says,
Okada debuts at the Rumble and eliminates Shinsuke.
I believe it. Yeah,
Fair enough.
I believe that.
Yeah.
would you like
Rainmaker
Jordan,
music
would you like to
hits?
see Jordan? You think? What do you think about Okada? Okada. What do you think about Nakamura versus Cody? You think it'd be happening on Raw, or do you see it like at a PLE? I mean, the next
Maybe
one
on
coming
Raw.
up is the Rumble, even though he already declared he's entering the Royal Rumble match. But he can always fight twice.
Now, maybe a pay-per-view. I can see maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have 2 months until the Royal Rumble now, so it's like they said they're going to build for a while. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen because Survivor Series was the last one until
Yeah. It don't close out. It don't close out with TLC anymore. Now it's closing out with NXT's deadline, and now AEW's debuting a new pay-per-view at the end of the year too. World's End.
Which one is that called? I forgot.
Who? NXT?
No, the AEW one. What's it
Oh,
called?
World's End.
There we go. World's End. There we go. I
December-
knew it was World something. I was.
Now I didn't. Actually, I have something I want to say. Where it's going to this topic right here. So, in the last couple months, we saw. No, let's go back since 2022. Cody was the first to jump shift, and then there were a couple of people in between, like FTR and Miro or Moxley, all going to AEW from WWE and whatnot. But like recently, this year, we saw Jade Cargill jump shift. We saw Edge jump shift. Now we just saw Punk jump shift again. Do you have a list? Or who do you think could be even fucking Brian Pillman jumping to NXT? Who is the next name to go from AEW to WWE or from WWE to AEW? If you can think of one off the top of your head.
I think the next one that's going to go from AEW to WWE, I think it's a foregone conclusion, is going to be somebody help me with his name. He just posted a picture with Punk.
Ricky Starks. He was
Ricky
at the
Starks.
Performance Center.
100% Ricky Starks for
Yep,
WWE.
He's going. I heard that. That's exactly what I was going to say.
100%.
Yeah.
100% is going to
I think so
WWE.
too.
You're telling me they don't know that Ricky Starks is in the Performance? Like, what's up, guy? We don't know. Come on, please.
Yeah,
I
he's
would
in the
love
fucking
that.
Performance Center weekly
Come
with
on.
Jade. In the Performance Center. He's
How
jumping.
about you, Jordan? What you think?
I think Ricky starts too.
Okay, hear me out here. I got two here.
And
what about FTR? You see them going back to WWE and go hang out with Punk?
Well,
Or you think they're gonna stay?
they just got read up though, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think
who
a
the
year or
fuck
so ago, I
got
think
read
they
up.
got read up.
I mean, it's
there
one
was
of those
also
things,
rumblings. There was also rumblings yesterday that Sasha's going back to WWE.
I don't fucking believe that.
Yeah.
Now, if she come back, I will love it, but I don't
She's
fucking
gonna-
believe it.
this
They're gonna
Rumble.
build up a storyline with her helping Bailey.
You don't think she's gonna go meet her BFF in Impact or try and stay in New Japan? I don't see her going to AEW. She ain't going to AEW. I believe her going to TNA before she goes to AEW. But if she goes to WWE, I will be happy. I fucking love her the most out of the four horsewomen. But I just don't see it with all the drama she had caused too and shit. But that would be nice. What's going on? Streets of Thon tuning in.
I mean,
can see
imagine
Starks
the
going.
Royal Rumble. You have Sasha Banks 29 and you have AJ Lee number 30. And I mean, the biggest thing about like CM Punk coming, it's one of those things that like you don't know who's gonna go. Like we could see MJF in WWE. We could see.
I have a question
like-
about that.
We
I have
could
a
say,
question
we could
about
see.
that.
We could see different people like Wardlow or guys that have their contracts coming up in a few years that might want to go there. And we might see more people jump from WWE, which is fine because you said it earlier. Who cares what show they're on? Let's just watch the shows and enjoy them. If you don't like them, then don't watch it. Like I like seeing Adam Copeland still on TV. It's funny as hell what they're doing. So I think watch the Adam Copeland stuff.
I'd say Warlow would be better in NXT, not the main roster.
I mean,
Ricky
WWE
Starks definitely has to be on the main roster.
Wherever
oh
he
yeah,
wants to go.
he's basically the Rock of AEW.
Mhm.
I don't know. I want to see him. He'd probably go best for SmackDown. I have no idea. But what about FTR? You think FTR would go back to WWE?
Yeah,
I
mean,
think they would if they didn't re-sign. I think they would.
I don't even know if well, you can. I know one guy for sure who wouldn't go back. You can take John Moxley out of there.
I think he would. I think Moxley. I think Jericho would. I think. See, and that's the thing.
Jericho, I think, is calling it after
see,
AEW.
But
He's
see,
finally gonna call it.
Jericho deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think Jericho would go back to be in the Hall of Fame. I really.
You don't think Moxley would show back up in WWE?
I think he would.
Obviously, he got a problem with Punk, and he supposedly gave his response about him leaving.
It's not going to happen tomorrow.
If he goes back to WWE, he can't bleed and be a Crimson Monster like he can in AEW because they so PG in WWE. He can't do that anymore. He'd have to go back to Dean Ambrose.
Eventually, everybody that has a problem goes back. We just saw Punk, who buried the fucking company for 10 years straight.
Literally, he said
literally 10 years straight.
It's a cold day in hell in Chicago.
10 years straight. We saw the Warrior bury that company for 30 years. Everybody, Bruno Sammartino.
It might not happen anytime soon, but 10 years from now, I think John Moxley returns for a reunion.
Triple H is the wrestler whisperer. He can make anything happen.
Well, Jordan, you think Moxley would go back to WWE between now to 10 years?
Yeah, I can see him going back.
Okay, so with this pay-per-view coming up, World's End, it's in Long Island, and you know who the AEW World Champion is. Now, I don't know if this was true or not. I don't know if it was a fake post, but he's been saying for a long ass time that his contract expires in January of 2024. So that kept telling me, what if Joe would beat MJF in his hometown, win the title, and then MJF would jump ship to WWE? But so I don't know if it's real or not. Someone said that MJF is in negotiations of extending his contract for 3 years until 2027. At the beginning of 2024.
That was what was said. I saw that on Sunday, where they say people in WWE said they think he secretly signed a deal with AEW, but he's just playing it off as the free agent of 2024. That's why there hasn't been no discussions about it or anything. But you never know what to believe. But also, do you believe he also posted he has a torn labrum? So is it possible? He's probably quite possible he's going to lose that belt.
Well, Dylan said that
come to pay-per-view
quietly. Yeah, maybe Joe will finally get his break. Joe ain't gonna go back to WWE. They treated him like, of all people, they treated like shit. Was Samoa Joe really? You couldn't.
No, he would because he was a Triple H guy.
Yeah, but
he was a Triple H guy.
He could have been Universal Champion while he was on Raw, or he could have took the WWE title from AJ Styles. But no, they.
I mean,
that's the thing is, you don't like Triple H is in charge. That changes everything.
Everything.
Like it really does. Like I don't think people realize like how much like people would really come back. Like if the things work out with CM Punk, there's gonna be so many people like, well, if it's working out with Punk, then why can't I go back there? So never say never. Anything's possible. It might be another 10 years till we see some, but 10 years, I'll still be watching and ready for it. So,
I don't see anybody with Triple H in control, or even and also Shawn Michaels in control of NXT. I don't see any WWE person jumping ship unless if they're retiring and want to keep going, but they're like, no, you got to retire. Then they'll go to AEW. But anybody, I'm gonna throw a couple other names who I could potentially see down the road go to WWE or go back to WWE. Bring fucking Miro back. I want Miro going back to WWE. You fucking keep Lana over there. I don't want to see her fucking ass.
Andrade.
I think Andrade's going. He's going
back.
He's
trying
going
to get
back
fired every week.
Do you think Malachi's gonna go back?
I wouldn't be surprised. His wife's there, and I mean, he got to
come back.
She's on TV more than him.
No. I don't know if Brian's gonna go back. I'm taking him out the question, and I'm gonna throw one more. I'm gonna throw one more male. Maybe like Sammy Guevara. Maybe go to WWE because he's fucking good friends with Cody.
I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, Tay was in NXT at one point, so you never know.
Well, you ain't gotta worry about Jack Perry going to WWE. He probably this would have Punk there.
I mean, again, if they do, or if some people jump ship, like if hypothetically, I even said it on one of my shows today. I said hypothetically, if Drew McIntyre, Drew whatever they want to call him, goes to AEW or whatever, that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. Who cares? Just let these guys go wherever they want to go. And if they're on TV, who cares? Like, if that stuff with Drew was real, hypothetically or whatever, we don't know what's real and what's not.
Let's talk women here. Probably the only other woman I could see going back to WWE, maybe Toni Storm. I don't know about Saraya. I would maybe Ruby Soho. I would love to see Britt Baker go to WWE.
Is Paige in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay, see that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of these people would eventually go
I
back
can
to
see
do something like that.
If there was one woman I can guarantee that's going to be in WWE one day, it's going to be Thunder Rosa.
That's another one.
I kind of forgot about her.
Yeah, I think we all did. Jordan, any female you want to see go to WWE from AEW?
Like you said, maybe Toni Storm or something like that.
You'd have Tony go back.
You know what? I got one. I'm sorry. I just thought of one who was a Triple H guy. Vince kind of fucked him. They fired him. They got rid of him. They got rid of the group. I can see Swerve becoming a big star in AEW and then possibly going back and being on the main roster.
Because
Triple H loved him.
Bring Swerve with Prince Nana.
100%.
Don't go back to Isaiah. So let them be Swerve Strickland. Let them buy the theme song. I want all this shit. I want all that when I come out. I want to hear whose house, Swerve's house. I want this version of him. I don't want that fucking shit he had with B-Fab and Top Dollar and whatever the fuck they were called. I want this version of Swerve.
That's the thing. If Triple H was always in charge, Hit Row might be a bigger faction than people.
100%.
Like it might have actually worked out better. Like that's the thing. Like we keep praising Triple H, but I don't think people realize like how much power this man really has and how much like good relationships he has with these people. Like you hear stories about these people texting Triple H Happy Thanksgiving and they get into a 35-minute conversation just about life. So it's like the man cares about everything and like it's crazy. It's just a good time to be a wrestling fan, I feel like, and
I think to piggyback off what Tino said, what Triple H said in the post scrum, that it really is Vince McMahon is completely out of control. He had zero to do with Punk. It was Nick Khan and him. Endeavor doesn't want him there anymore. They sent his ass home. Like he's done there. And I think people are seeing that it's Triple H's show. Vince has nothing to do with WWE anymore, only to hold shares. That's it. That's all he has.
And then the show it felt like a takeover. Like there was only 5 matches. There was 2 WarGame matches. Like there was only,
like takeover. Yeah.
It was only, and if you look at it was only 2 hours and 44 minutes. Like you mentioned, like in the beginning of the show, the WarGame matches were only 35 minutes, 33 minutes. So they really weren't that long. And it flew by. And with everything that happened, it was like, so. And I kind of hope it stays like that because the less things in the shorter amount of time with good things that happen, it's better things because we're still talking about it and it's almost Wednesday.
So, well, I think that will do it for tonight. I have nothing else to throw in except whenever next week comes, we'll have some more topics for you when we tune in for Raw and SmackDown and AEW and whatnot. I know I keep forgetting about it. NXT's got a premiere live event coming up December 9th. Deadline. We'll make predictions for that next week. Dylan also said we'll love to see WWE get what the fuck, Julia? Did he spell her name right? Are you talking about Julia Hart?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. She's a chick from is it Stardom? Is the chick from Stardom? I think. I don't know.
Oh. I was about to say, I thought he spelled somebody's. I thought he meant to say Julia Hart, but well, no, that will do it for tonight. This was a good one. Freddie, Tino, again, as always, thank you for coming on. Let the listeners know where they can find you on social media. We'll start with Tino.
Hey, well, you can find me at Tino's Time everywhere. Tino's Time Wrestling, the Southside Boys, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you for letting me talk more about my experience. I feel like I got so much to talk about, and I just have I'm trying to make the vlog, and I'm trying to make it all like this and that and everything, and I'm just like, that's why when you text me, I'm like, yes, I'm like, let me come on. I'm like, because I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to show people. I'm trying to get that out because I'm just like I said, I'm still happy about it. Hyped and excited, and it's still so. Thank you for having me on. But yeah, Tino's Time everywhere.
All righty. Go ahead, Freddie.
Yep, the real Freddie 85 on the X, Twitter, Instagram, Freddie MIII. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Thanks. Hopefully we do this again.
Absolutely. And of course, check me and Freddie out as always tomorrow night, every Wednesday night at 10 Eastern, 9 Central for SAT Sports on Floor Slapper Sports. Jordan, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter X at Jordan_J2000.
Yep, I'm on Twitter at MarcusElite337. Podcast is on Twitter at World Elite Pod. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube to watch our live streams powered by StreamYard anytime on demand. Again, we're free and available wherever you get your podcasts, from Apple Pod, Google Pod, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. We are everywhere. Thank you to our sponsor, 80s Tees. You know, Christmas is coming up. Get your holiday edition shirts. I'm wearing a Griswold shirt from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation I got on 80s Tees. Use our promo code World Elite to get 30% off. I'm going to wear the Wally World one probably next episode. I got a couple of shirts from holiday shirts, either from 80s Tees or I bought from like Walmart or at Hot Topic. I'm going to wear all holiday season on every live stream. So be on the lookout on what I'm going to be wearing this holiday season, especially – the Christmas movie debate is coming. We haven't scheduled an official date yet, but I'll be on it. Freddie's on it. Dylan's on it. Graydon's going to be on it. Kayla's on it. Tino, you like Christmas movies. You want to come talk Christmas movie debate once we get a date set?
What kind of Christmas movies? I mean, I literally watched Elf twice this weekend because they played it for 24 hours. So when we first got to the hotel, we had it on. And then when we got back to the hotel, it was still going. And we just left it on and watched it again. So hey,
we're going to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to talk them all. I mean, we're going to talk your usuals like, you know, Home Alone or Elf or
you let me know. I'll rewatch it and I'll come on. What's up? I love Christmas movies.
We'll talk like Christmas Story. We'll talk your traditional classic Christmas movies you watch every year, like Jim Carrey's Grinch. Then we're going to talk the ones they always get debated, like Die Hard and Batman Returns. Then we'll talk the ones kids are not supposed to watch, like Bad Santa, Harold and Kumar Christmas, Office Christmas Party.
I need a waffle machine like that, Loki.
Waffle bot?
Yeah, waffle bot.
I got a waffle maker, not a waffle bot.
I need a waffle bot. I'm trying to have it like serve me.
Don't listen. This is why we're having a debate. He says,
no, here we go.
He says it isn't a Christmas movie because it wasn't Christmassy. The plot was on Christmas Eve, but the movie dropped in July. Like that's why we're gonna have this debate. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an episode of ESPN 35th. It's gonna be like an episode of Sports Center. One of us is gonna play Stephen A. Smith. The other one's gonna play this guy.
He said it's gonna be an episode of Sports Center.
Our Halloween one was dope.
Yeah, Freddie, me, you, and Kayla did the Halloween movie debate, and we mainly talked the slashers and shit. It's available on I think it was on the Fanatics Network's YouTube channel. They host it was a part of them, so it's on their YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. We talked all the slasher icons. We talked a couple other horror movies. So
I can't believe it's Christmas time already. Like, where the heck? Like, Thanksgiving already came and passed so fast. I was just like, oh.
Well, once we get more Thanksgiving movies, I mean, I can already name you two. We're going to eventually have a Thanksgiving movie debate. They just dropped a horror movie called Thanksgiving.
I know. I want to see it. I've been wanting to watch it. I wonder.
And the only other Thanksgiving movie you could say is Zack and Miri Make a Porno because it happened the night before Thanksgiving.
How fucking dead. It's not PG.
It don't matter if it's PG or not. But this was fun. Yeah, be on the lookout. We're going to announce a date soon. Hopefully, we'll get it on a day when everyone can participate and either work or other shows or even the holidays don't interfere because I want to try and do it the weekend before Christmas because I know when Christmas weekend comes, we're all going to be busy celebrating that with families and traveling and shit. So we're going to try and make it fair where everyone can attend. So we'll definitely keep you posted on all that. Jordan, do you want to hop on for that too, or you going to pass that one?
I might join for that one.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna have a big turnout. We're gonna make it fun. Get in the Christmas spirit. I'm wearing one of my tacky sweaters I might wear a fucking Santa hat. Like I'm getting into Christmas spirit. I might drink my Grinch punch while I'm
Just
watching
dress up
this.
as Santa Claus.
Jordan can dress up as Santa Claus.
No, you dress up as Santa. Jordan can dress up as the elf.
Well, somebody got to dress up as the Grinch.
Yeah, that's Dylan. He's never here.
Well, I'm always the Grinch. I can imitate him. I know every fucking line from the Jim Carrey Grinch movie.
Have you?
Oh God, I've when you got sisters who are obsessed with that movie.
Oh God,
we've watched it at least 20 times every season, like between 2001 to like 2014. Like they'd have to watch it at least once a day. That's how obsessed they are with it.
I'm dead.
I can literally quote the whole movie. I'm an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. So it's gonna be fun. Thank you for everyone tuning in. We will see you guys next week. But as always, we are the World League Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all
have a good night.
Stay healthy. Take your meds. Don't get sick.
Take your meds.